waiting for it to turn green, and all of a sudden, bam, you get struck from behind by a vehicle. You start hurting, you end up having to go to the doctor, you're getting medical bills. What should you do? Well, I actually have 12 years experience in personal injury, so I'm going to kind of give you some pointers on what you should do. Try not to be biased as far as working for a personal injury attorney. That's not your only option, is to go that route, so I'm going to try to be biased on this. I'm going to cover this in two sections. The first section is going to be what to do immediately after, and then before you settle is the second section. So, the first thing you need to do is make sure that you fill out a police report. A lot of times people think they're going to do this he said, she said thing, and it doesn't always work out to be that way. A lot of times, if you're injured later, that tends to be a problem if you didn't do a police report. So make sure you do that. Also, make sure that you seek medical attention. Don't put it off. If you're hurt, go to the doctor, because the insurance companies will make sure they use that as an excuse not to pay you. They'll say, oh, they could have been hurt doing something else. So just be real careful, get the medical attention you need, and the doctors will take care of you. Also, you need to make a decision on if you should hire an attorney or not. You have the choice of hiring an attorney to help you. You have the choice of doing it on your own. There are benefits to hiring an attorney. You probably will get a higher settlement, but it might take longer. You also wouldn't have to pay attorney's fees if you did it by yourself. But if you have a really bad injury, like you need a surgery or something, you probably need to go through an attorney. But you can still try to do it on your own. I did do a survey on Facebook to see how many people would hire an attorney and who would do it on their own. I had 70 responses total. 45 people said they would hire an attorney. 18 said they would do it on their own. And 7 people said it really depended on the circumstances, on how hurt they were and whatnot. So that was the results of that poll. So as you can see, most people would hire an attorney just because you're not something you do every day and would help to get some help on that. I actually found this quote that reminded me of the law. It's from Francis Bacon. He was an English philosopher who also served as Attorney General in England. He said, if we do not maintain justice, justice will not maintain us. And to me, that says a lot about keeping the insurance companies honest, and if somebody's hurt and taking care of what they should. Also, you need to make sure you're notifying both insurance companies. You need to notify the person, of course, who hit you to make a claim with them, but you also need to notify your insurance, because say if the person who hit you doesn't have insurance, you won't be barred from your insurance. You should have something on your policy. If you don't, look it up, underinsured motorist or uninsured motorist. So if somebody hits you without insurance, you'll be covered if you're hurt. Also, there's something called medical payments coverage that will take care of your medical bills. So you need to know about that as well. If you don't timely make a claim, then you probably will be barred, and actually is in your policy. So after you get all the medical attention you need, you're feeling better, you're ready to settle with the insurance company, let's talk about what you do then. So first you need to gather your medical records, gather your medical bills. That way you have something to present to the insurance company and not just to say, yeah, I had this bill out. No, they need proof, so you need to get that up for them. Also, you can make a claim for lost wages. If you missed work and didn't be able to get paid for your time off, your employer should be able to help you with that as far as getting some information over to them. Also, before you settle, you need to think of some things that might would give your case more value. So, we talked about lost wages. Your case could also be worth more if you're hit by a person who has been drinking, if they got a DUI, by a person who has left the scene after they hit you. Those are called punitive damages. So you need to be sure that you're not getting taken advantage of when something like that happens, because that's typically a policy limits case. You should be taken care of if somebody is negligent in that manner. Also, you have a thing called general damages, where just your pain and suffering, your loss of enjoyment, if you miss a vacation, those are things you need to think about when you go to settle. Also, your property damage, of course, your car. If you have broken glasses or a broken cell phone, they're supposed to pay for that as well, so make sure they do. Also, I want to talk to y'all about understanding what policy limits are. Each state has a minimum coverage that you're required by law to carry. Georgia actually is $25,000 per person, $50,000 per accident. If you do not carry that and you get in a wreck and you get in trouble, you will be ticketed and fined. Most people are carrying the minimum, and if you go on the Georgia Insurance Commissioner's website, you will see that information on what the minimums are. So, as you can see, there is a lot to making a personal injury claim, and I just touched the very bare minimum of this for y'all. It's a lot to it, and it would take a long time to cover every situation. But I do hope that you have a little bit more knowledge now about what you need. And again, let me just remind you of the main points you need to file a police report. Make sure you go to the doctor, get your medical records and bills together, have everything in place for what you're going to make a claim for, and also remember the things that give your case value. Don't let the insurance company get one over on you. So I hope that if you find yourself a victim of personal injury now, you know a little bit more about what to do and don't let the insurance company take advantage of you.